The outside, there's a little bit of contact there, and
Yeah, but you caused an avoidable incident.
Oh, that. Just shut up before I punch you in the face.
Yeah, but you still...
oh dear. So, Stop at 1998 has tweeted Justin Sampson, saying that he's more afraid of a fly than him. Well, after how Justin reacted to Mark Johnson last week, that is not a good idea. Now, I'm sure you might want to from Justin, otherwise you might have to
get wrecked.
So, Justin has calmed down from the mess of Sepang. And he is now going to the back of the garage, as always, to head to the garage in Shanghai. Here he is in qualifying. It's his first lap of qualifying. He wasn't the first to go out this time for once. But here he heads round the final corner. It's a little bit wide, but goes fourth at the moment. But now, as you can see, he has dropped to 20th. So he now starts another lap. This is going to be his final lap, because that's all he has the fuel for. Now going into turn 1. He goes a little bit wide into the grass. That's probably cost him quite a lot already. Now heading into turn 3. I'm not sure what corner it people like to call it, considering that turn 1 is basically a double corner. But now heading down, I think this is turn 6. But now going up to the fast chicane, as I like to call it. But he can't seem to take it flat out. I mean, this is not within this Virgin car's capabilities. And now he heads into the double apex corner. Onto the back straight. Looking like a fairly reasonable second sector. And as you can see, it's up on his personal best, but only by a tenth, so it doesn't look like it could be enough to get into Q2. Maybe he might have had a chance had it not been for that mistake at turn 1. Now heading down the long straights. Obviously the team getting a bit concerned about fuel. As he heads out of the hairpin.
30 seconds left in the session.
Now crossing the line. And he doesn't manage to improve. So unfortunately he is out of Q1. So that's 20 on the grid for him. Now this is what Justin said to me quite sternly just before the lights went out.
Right, if this Mark Johnson guy gives me any more penalties, he is going to regret it.
So, Justin has made it clear that any more crap, then there will be nasty stuff. Now we have the lights in Shanghai. It's lights out and away we go. Justin gets a reasonable launch, but again he's going to pull back in a straight line. And that's his problem with start. And he's already lost out to centre, but he goes down the inside. He's really late on the brakes as they head into turn 1. Now going for the outside of Sebastian Buemi as they head into turn 1. He's now up to 17th. Now going into turn 4. I'm not even sure what corner number it is. But here, Aldiswari completely outdrives Justin going down. And then he moves across and there's a warning. And Justin is forced to back out. So Aldiswari and De La Rosa side by side as they head into this next sequence of corners. So now, been a fairly good start for Justin. Now down the outside of Aldiswari, he's able to make that move stick just. Not really much between them as they headed down into this section. So here he's on the outside of the two Saubers, but then Kobayashi hits him. Yes, he's able to make the move, but he's less than impressed.
What is he doing? He's moving around under braking.
Obviously, Justin there not happy with Kobayashi's antics, but now he has De La Rosa to fend off as he heads down into the hairpin. Who's going to be late on the brakes? It's going to be Justin, but he's braked way too late and he's gone wide. And he's let 3 cars through. Really is not what he wanted to do. But he's then able to pass both Kobayashi and Aldous Warrior into one corner. It's a good move there from Justin. So he's through back into 16th place as he heads into turn 1. But he runs a little bit wide. Is he going to let them back through? No, he isn't somehow. But then Kobayashi goes for quite a daring move down the inside. But it looks like Justin might just have this one covered as he heads down the straight, now down into the kink, down into the turn 6 is what I'm going to call it now, on a quest to be able to catch up with Pedro De La Rosa in the BMW Sauber. So now he's caught up to De La Rosa, as you can see. We're breaking down, not sure what number it is, but he's quite late on the brakes and he's able to make that move stick. Good move there from Justin. So Justin is clearly not letting the events in Malaysia distract him because he is making these moves. Now, as you can see, he is caught up to the back of Liuzzi and Petrov, who are having a battle amongst themselves. So now heading into the final corner. Petrov is not very quick through the final corner. So they're side by side going down the straight. So it looks like you might just have Petrov covered. So now going into turn 1. You what? Right. In a nutshell, I'm now going to show you Justin's reaction to it.
Why was that a penalty? He brake checked me. What was that? You stewards are blind. I'm gonna punch them after the race, especially if it's Mark Johnson.
Okay, just calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down, you. He brake checked me.
So he was very angry. He took the penalty at the end of that lap, but he still wouldn't stop going on about it.
He brake checked me and I get that penalty. What the is wrong with this Mark Johnson? He brake checked me and I get that penalty.
And what was it he said to me before the start?
Right, if this Mark Johnson guy gives me any more penalties, he is going to regret it.
Oh dear, well Mark Johnson is screwed then. But Justin has made it clear that he's not going to let this penalty distract him for the remainder of the race. So he comes into the pits, obviously his race has been completely ruined by this penalty. But he's not going to be distracted like he was before, as you're about to see. Now heading into the pits is Justin. He's saving all the events from the penalty until after the race. Into the pits he goes. Not the best of stops, obviously he is now lost.
The track is clear. Track is clear.
So he exits the pits normally. But here there's a little bit of an indication that he was a little bit distracted by the penalty.
Looks like the guy ahead of you is going to put in a shorter stint. They're putting the
As
option tyres on the
here
car.
you can see, firstly, he's ahead of Trulli. As you see, he just promptly goes wide there. He's ahead of Jarno Trulli. Now heading into turn 3. As you can see, no problems there. As I said, here there's an indication that he was slightly distracted by a penalty, as he's now heading into turn 6. But he takes too much curb and spins it. And unsurprisingly, this results in him dropping behind Jarno Trulli. really is not what he wanted to do, but afterwards he drove well. He first was able to make light work of Jarno Trulli by putting off a decent pass to the final
This is
corner.
2 places in front of you.
So he next is able to get up into 22nd after Sebastian Buemi pits. And that eventually was to be his finishing position. So Fernando Alonso has won the race, and you can see he now rounds the final corner. He's going to cross the line, but that is when he started rambling about that penalty again.
Somehow I don't finish in last. But get ready, Mark Johnson. You have not seen the last of me today.
But at least we got to the end.
So very threatening there from Justin Sampson. He's finished in 20 seconds, another disappointing result for him. Obviously he would have got higher if it hadn't been for that penalty. 18th in the standings at the moment, obviously no points, but Virgin's still the highest out of non-point scorers. Cup of tea, please. Oh, great. Footsteps. Who is wanting to enter my hotel room at this time of night? What do you want, Justin?
What do I want? I want to slap you for that penalty.
You hit him. Penalty was legitimate? Why? Why do you want to slap me over it? The penalty was legitimate.
Legitimate? He brake checked me. How could I have avoided him when I get the penalty? Right, you want to fight me?
Before you get all physical with me, you hit. Ow, that hurt. Why did you kick me?